Joining me today is Danielle McCarthy. Danielle's the Director of Mind Potential Psychology, and she's joining us from the Sunshine Coast in Australia. Danielle, welcome, and it's good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Now, Danielle, you're a clinical psychologist?
Correct, yes.
And as well as being a clinical psychologist, you have a role as a director in the business?
Yes, correct.
So this is a busy life, I imagine. Can you tell me who are the people who come to see you in a clinical sense?
Yeah, so in the practice, because we've got 8 psychologists, we all kind of specialise or have different interests in different areas. So we have children, adolescents, adults. We can kind of cover and treat a wide range of different concerns.
Danielle, I guess almost everyone knows what a psychologist does, but tell us, at Mind Potential Psychology, how does psychology work there?
Yeah, so when the client originally rings up, we have a bit of a screening process in terms of, what their presenting concerns are and what they're wanting help with. And then we try to match them with the most appropriate psychologist, given the psychologist's skill set. I guess in Mind Potential Psychology, we've tried to really focus on getting the best client outcomes we can. We want to start that the moment they call up by getting them booked in with who we think might be the most appropriate psychologist in terms of their skill set and the way that they do treatment. So then the client would present for an initial assessment where they'd get, tell their story, and the psychologist would get an idea of what's going on for them. And then the psychologist would do up a treatment plan for that client in terms of how many sessions they think they're going to need, what treatment might look like for them. We'd get the ball rolling.
And Danielle, is there a scope of practice? Do you deal with everyone, or are there some people who are better suited to a different practice?
I guess, we recognise that as human beings and as psychologists, that we can't specialise in all areas. And so, because there's 8 of us, we know that there's certain psychologists who have strengths working with children or working with adolescents or working with pain or different presentations. So we're able to cover most things. There's a couple of areas such as couple counselling that we don't have anyone who has a real special interest or expertise in that area, as well as family-based therapy. So they would be the 2 things that jump out at me that we kind of don't cover just because we don't have the psychologists who have that expertise or training.
What are the common presenting problems that people have?
Yep. So most commonly we'd see, your depression, anxiety, stress. They would definitely be the top 3 presentations we'd see coming through the door. And then I guess following that, we see a fair few pain clients, work cover clients, body image issues, because we see a lot of adolescents. And then in children, we'd be seeing more behavioural, emotional difficulties.
And do people need to be referred to you from their GP, or can they just ring up?
Either or. So we commonly get referrals coming in from the GP. So the client's gone to see their GP, the GP's picked up that they were struggling with, something, and they'll refer them to us. And then other times we have them the client ringing up us and coming in that way. So either or. And a lot of people will have private health insurance, or other people will just not have private health insurance or a referral from their GP and can just pay outright. So there's different options for different people, but the majority of people, would come in through their GP. That would definitely be our top way, because you do that, then they can get support from Medicare in terms of the financial side of things. So that would definitely be one of the top referral pathways.
Danielle, how long does it take when you visit a psychologist?
Yeah, and that's a tricky one to answer, and no psychologist will like answering that one. But what we will do is, because everybody's different, and even though you might have 2 people with depression, that can present very, very differently, and therefore the length of treatment can be very, very different as well. So it's really hard to put a number on it. So that's why we have that initial assessment session where we get as much information as possible. And then after that, we can start to have a better idea of how many sessions the person might need. But it's still even hard then. Is it going to require 6 sessions? Is it going to require 12 sessions? I mean, we certainly know there's certain things like eating disorders that take a lot longer to treat. But then you can have somebody with severe, long-standing depression that can take a really long time to treat as well. So,
for someone who's going to come and see you, Is there anything they need to prepare or anticipate, or is it, I guess for a lot of clients, it's probably a scary thing going to see a psychologist for the first time. What's your advice to those first-time patients?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the biggest thing. In terms of what they need to prepare, no, they just need to, show up on the day. And I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of clients. It can be anxiety provoking in and of itself to come and see the psychologist. You're meeting somebody new, you're building a new relationship, you're potentially talking about some really difficult stuff. And if you haven't done it before, that can be really anxiety provoking. I guess my advice would be that is our area. That is what we're trained in. That's what we're good at. Kind of, I guess, have trust in us that we know what we're doing and that we can hold and contain whatever it is that's going on for you. And we'll do our utmost best to support you with that and get you the best outcome possible.
Danielle, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you if they're looking for your services or they just want to chat?
Phone us. First point of call is 5437-7100. Alternatively, if you're still feeling a bit anxious or unsure or uncertain about the process, feel free to email me at danielle@mpsych, so that's mpsych.com.au, and I'll be gladly answer any questions.
Danielle McCarthy, Director of Mind Potential Psychology, it's been a pleasure having you with us. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Wayne.